Well, we finally have the high bitrate mode, something we've wanted for a long time. So in today's video, I'm going to take a look and compare the standard bitrate mode to the high bitrate mode in the DJI Osmo Action 5. Here we are at sunrise, and this is the standard bitrate mode. So I want to test out these modes at sunrise where I got a decent amount of light coming at me in somewhat of a real world environment, just to see what is the difference between the standard and the high bitrate mode. So let's pop this thing into high bitrate. Now we're in the high bitrate mode. So I got the sunrise behind me. I'm gonna move into frame and let's just see in Dlog-M, do we get much better colors? What is the difference in the high bitrate mode when it comes to color correcting? We'll find out in post. Here's a test on the bike with the sun behind me in the high bitrate mode. Now, I just want to see what this does because obviously I'm more shadowed. So I want to see with the higher bitrate mode, do I get better recovery than in the standard bitrate mode? Let's switch over to standard. Now we are in standard bitrate mode. Again, trying to see, can I get the same kind of recovery that I do in the high bitrate mode? I want to see if the high bitrate mode adds a lot to the camera, because sometimes you get high bitrate and it really doesn't add that much. But other times, like in the GoPro, when I can get 200 megabits by using the GoPro Labs firmware, it does add a decent amount. So let's see. The only way we're gonna know is when we see it in post. So I stopped off to get some coffee on my way home. And while I'm in this shaded area, we're gonna do another test of the high bitrate mode in the standard bitrate mode. So here's cheers. We're in high bitrate right now. Let's take a sip of this coffee. Not too bad first thing in the morning. Now we are in the standard bitrate mode. Again, gonna drink some coffee real quick. Very nice. Even though the Action 5 has 10-bit video, the bitrate was actually lower than the Action 4, so it's nice to see what kind of bit rates we're getting in the Action 5. Now, I'm shooting on the older, lower, I guess, normal bitrate on the Action 5 Pro, so let's switch it to the high bitrate and see if there's a difference. I'm also filming in Dlog-M. So now we're filming in the high bitrate mode. Now, one of the things I saw off the bat is I have a 256 gig card in here. I had 9 hours of recording before, and now I have 5 hours of recording. So there's definitely bigger files coming out of this high bitrate mode. Really quick, just to note, the first footage in the video, we're actually using a circular polarizer filter right here. And then the footage at the end of the video, I wanted to show that because we're using the built-in UV filter. Now, after looking at everything with the high bitrate mode, the standard bitrate mode, noticed a few things. When it comes to image quality, I saw the biggest difference in tougher lighting scenarios. Like, I could see the difference when I was at the Starbucks, where the higher bitrate, there was just a little bit less noise on my face and in the shadows than there was in the standard. Again, not a huge deal, but it is worth noting. Now, I did also notice that there's a bigger power suck on the actual battery life when using the higher bitrate mode. Makes sense. That may be why they started off with the standard bitrate, but it just is worth noting. On top of that, there's obviously going to be bigger file sizes. Not quite twice as big, but definitely bigger, more than 30% in file size. If you want to film in the high bitrate mode, I would recommend it in these scenarios. If you're filming in a log profile, if you're filming at night, or if you're filming a super high complex dynamic range scene with a lot of various different light sources, or there's a lot of movement in the background. If it's complicated, I would definitely shoot in the high bitrate mode. Now, when I would shoot in the standard bitrate mode, well, if you're not color grading your footage, I don't really see the point in shooting in the high bitrate mode, but I think a lot of people who pick up the Action 5 Pro probably are filming in the log profile. So that's, again, why it's good to have it there. Another thing would be long recording times. If you need the most recording time out of this camera, whether it's smaller file sizes or you need more battery life, although the battery drain isn't huge, it is noticeable when shooting in the high bitrate mode. So if you need those things, I would maybe choose the standard bitrate option. But it is nice to know that now here in October of 2024, DJI has added this back in, and it makes me wonder if they're going to add it in some of their other products. Now, for those of you who are wondering how to do it, because they could have made it a little bit simpler, to enable the high bitrate mode, you actually turn on the camera, actually have to go into the menu of the camera, and then you're going to want to choose here, and then you're going to scroll down to bitrate. Once you get to bitrate, you're going to choose that, and you're either going to choose high or standard. Now, like I said, it's up to you, but it is worth knowing the situations to use high versus standard. For instance, when I'm shooting some of my car videos where I'm just filming my trip, probably going to shoot in the standard mode, even if I'm filming in log. But when I'm filming vlogs or anything where I want the maximum image quality, I'm going to be filming in the high bitrate mode just because I'm not going to risk it. If you have any questions about the Osmo Action 5, anything I maybe didn't go over in today's video, let me know in the comments below. And if you got knowledge and value out of today's video, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep up to date with the latest videos on the channel. And until next time, my name's Chef Fagien. Thank you for joining me as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.